What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Box Out Boys podcast. We are the NBA podcast of the people, your home for lukewarm takes and substandard analysis. I'm Titus Two Shots Dominguez, and joining me tonight, it's Chris, the Stats Man Gorman. Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Hey. All right, guys. The Minnesota Timberwolves, for the first time since the 2004-2005 season, have at least won 40 games in back-to-back seasons. Suffice to say, the struggle has been real for a real long time for this franchise.
Minnesota Wolves facts from your boy, Chris. Also getting them buckets tonight is the lawn boss, Joe McCroskey. Get that, Joe.
I guess the lawn stats was only a one-week thing. So it's all right.
I didn't know we were going to do it again. Give us a lawn stat. You got a lawn stat tonight?
No.
All right. What are we doing? Are we aerating this week? What's happening? I feel like we missed our window.
Fun fact, aeration in the spring. Not such a great idea. Tune in next week for more details on that.
All right. And making it sound as delicious as Dove. It's Adam, the professional Bruns. How levels tonight, Adam?
They are fantastically delicious.
Ooh, wonderfully delicious, fantastically delicious. Who cares? We got a fun show for you guys tonight. We're talking some playoff picture. Me and Chris got some top 5 disappointing teams of the past 10 years. Should be fun. I'm going to give these boys some blind player rankings. Maybe mess with them a little bit. Should be fun. And then we got another round of NBA high thoughts. Your boy was watching some games. He had thoughts. So,
Jesus.
Oh, geez. You know what? It was, again, surprisingly rational, and I just want to hear what you guys' take on it. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump right in. The play-in pictures all but set, basically. I think just, maybe a little bit of shuffling to happen here. But I think for the most part, we have our teams, our general idea. I think the West is a little crazier than the East. At least in the East, we kind of have a better picture.
I think that we got the 10s for each.
Yeah, we got the 10s for each, I think is what we have, pretty much. The West still has a...
Yeah, the West is still open.
Not
after tonight.
Not after tonight?
I don't think so.
Right.
Well, I guess OKC or Dallas, right?
Yeah, it's like the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, there's definitely some shifting to happen, but for the most part, especially in the East, we do have our 10 teams. Just some positioning here in the last 3 or 4 games for everybody. So let's start there in the Eastern Conference. Right now, as it sits today, the play-in picture at the 7-8 matchup will be Miami versus Atlanta. And then in the 9-10 matchup will be Toronto versus Chicago. Joey, how you feeling about that Chicago slot? Do you think they kind of missed their opportunity there with that loss to Atlanta to kind of maybe sneak up? But how do you feel about the Eastern Conference matchups, and what do you think is going to happen in the play-in game?
Yeah, I feel terrible about the matchup. Bulls Raptors is not ideal, especially after last night the Bulls lost to Atlanta without Trae Young in the lineup, who stayed home with an illness. That should have been, and they didn't have DeAndre Hunter, so that should have been a definite W for them, right? Home game. This is for them. I mean, they would have jumped to the ace. I guess they would have tied for 9 because Toronto won, so they would have been in the 9 seed. Like, this was everything that they needed to do. It was right there for them. Hawks were shorthanded. And just really, Vooch got absolutely handled by Clint Capella, who's having probably one of his worst seasons that he's had. His entire.
About Clint Capella having a worst
worst season wise, right? And he made Vooch look like absolute. He made Vooch look like I don't know, one of the guys from the '90s that I just talked about before we started on
Nice.
here. He looked like
Right.
Bill Wennington.
Luke Longley. Just don't even get me started.
Yeah, looking like Luke Longley up there. So clearly, Chicago has shown us problems with length all season long. The matchup with Toronto, one of the lengthiest teams in the league. Chris, gotta love them. Full of, I don't know. Do you love them, Chris? They're kind of full of semi-big men.
I love Toronto in the preseason. They've been a little disappointing, but
they're kind of like semi-big men. They're not the full big men that Chris usually goes for. So there
Right.
might be a little bit of a mix there. But yeah, not loving that matchup. I also don't. I'm not really excited about Miami Atlanta. Like that's two very like underwhelming, like underachieving teams for this season.
And it feels like Miami's just going to roll them up pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't know. Miami's hit or miss for me. Like they could
True.
be on or off. I don't know. They came out like last week that Miami was like upset that Kyle Lowry isn't like the all-star version of Kyle Lowry that they got, and I was like, okay, cool.
that's kind of weird.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Like, did you
Cool.
really expect him to be like? I don't know. So like, I don't know. I'm not super excited. I'm mostly disappointed that we're probably not going to get to go to a Bulls playoff game. I was looking forward to that.
Still.
That was about to be like the most exciting part of all of this, even if it was against Toronto. Still put it in bad, but I don't know. Everybody's underachieved in the play-in tournament there here in the Eastern Conference. I think every single one of those teams had absolute aspirations, like legitimate aspirations.
Yeah, true. I think you're right.
Not just like, hey, we're a team and we're hoping to be better. Like we probably could have seeded them all above New York and Cleveland when the season started, and obviously didn't shake out the way they wanted to. So not a lot of excitement there. I think Chicago has our Bulls have the worst chance of making this happen, but stranger things have happened, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it.
Chris, the Eastern Conference does feel very top heavy. Like these bottom teams, like Joey kind of hit the nail on the head there. Like they all belong in this playing game as far as being under performing teams this year. Do you think any of these teams can make any kind of noise, potentially get 2 games off a team in the first round? I don't think any teams can win a series, but what do you think?
Yeah. No, I'm hoping Brooklyn can drop into this play and Miami can jump to that 6th seed.
Okay.
So we can get a Philly Miami first round, get a Jimmy Butler revenge series.
That'd be interesting.
I think we experienced that already. But the way Jimmy's been playing lately, he can really just steal a series. And that would be the most exciting matchup in round 1 is the 76ers Heat series.
And
then
see them making a little noise.
That'd be a lot of fun. What would also be kind of interesting is the Hawks against the Sixers, even though I don't think that's not going to happen, so I don't want to talk about it. But then, I mean, the Hawks and the Raptors have been if we're talking about length can only get you so far. You gotta like put that into motion, really make it work sometimes, and they just haven't been doing that as well. So, but I think I'd like to see the Raptors against Milwaukee.
Oh,
that would at least be a 6-game series or maybe. But yeah, I don't know. The Hawks, are they the most disappointing team this year? I know we have a disappointing team segment coming up, but I have a couple teams in there. They're definitely one of them because they gave up everything for DeJounte Murray, and they've been the most 500 team for like the last 75 days. They've been at above or below one game at 500.
Yeah, it's wild.
So,
yeah, interesting. I'm kind of with you guys. I don't think any of these teams are really going to make any noise. Miami is certainly interesting, but I really don't. I don't think they're the Miami of old. Going over to the Western Conference in the 7-8 matchup, we got the Lakers versus the Pelicans right now. Juicy there. Lakers quietly in that 7th seed with a chance to maybe slip into the 6th seed tonight, I believe, if they beat
they get
Clippers.
the 5th if they went out. Yeah.
Wow. And then in the 9-10, you got Minnesota versus OKC. Chris, we'll start with you on this side. What do you like these matchups? Do you think either of these teams are really going to kind of shuffle here?
The 4th best team in the West, or considered to be in the top 4, the LA Lakers. Am I right?
I like it.
Or am I right? I like the Lakers. I don't know. We can talk about specific matchup after this. The Lakers Clippers matchup. I think Ty Lue said yesterday that this is their first real matchup they've had. Then the Clippers have beaten the Lakers 10 games in a row.
Okay,
so this will be the first time. It means something. Maybe Kawhi and Paul George actually playing. The Clippers are probably the most frustrating team to try to root for, and I kind of hope they fall into this play-in a little bit just to test them out a little bit more. Who else is we're talking about here? The Pelicans have been frisky a little bit. Zion's still out, so who cares?
who
The
cares,
Timberwolves
yeah.
are obviously my other disappointment of a franchise team. They lost
Should've
to
been
like
better.
the G League Blazers a couple nights ago, and then took one out against the Nets. Don't know what to make of that team.
That was the biggest upset spread-wise in NBA history.
Was it 19 and a half?
Yeah.
19? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a.
It was a hard watch at the end of that game. You
Hard
can tell they were
watch.
like getting scared. Like, wait, we might actually
tough.
lose to Shaden Sharp and Kevin Knox. This is nuts. And
They did.
but I
Would you like them against OKC? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
OKC would be tough. That's a tough
so
matchup.
of these four, of the Lakers, Pelicans, Timberwolves, and Thunder, I like the Timberwolves and the Lakers.
Yeah,
I think Timberwolves are better than the Pelicans and the Thunder.
I agree. That
I
seems
think that's where
fair.
I'm at. Joey, we'll go to you with who do you think can make the most noise? I think we maybe just hit on that, but who's the team that you really think? All right, they get out of this play-in series, they start to look interesting. Who do you think?
Yeah, part of me wants to just side with what I said at the beginning of the season. The Lakers weren't going to make the playoffs, and clearly I've been proven wrong on that. So that's disappointing. I was so close. I had that for like 70. That's like 85% of the season.
You had it.
I had it.
You had it for a second. You
That was
talked
the
us into
close-
it. Talked us
that was-
into it. And
That was
eliminated
the
it.
closest I've ever been to winning a bet without winning the bet in history. But no, I think it's Lakers and Timberwolves. New Orleans, like Chris said, I think that's perfect. They're frisky, but like,
Yeah.
do you trust them to like actually win a game? I don't know. Oklahoma City, again, I think it's frisky, right? Like, is Shea going to have the game of his life, and Josh Giddey too? Like, that could happen, and it could easily be like a blowout win for either one of those teams. But if you're putting money on this or kind of like, thinking about it reasonably, I don't think those are either likely scenarios. AD has looked like the promise for the Lakers going forward, and almost looks like, hey, if LeBron decides to go play in Cleveland with Bronny in 2 years, like, cool, we got AD. He seems to be okay. And Minnesota, like, as Chris said, underperforming, but they've got all the pieces. They should wipe the floor with Oklahoma City in a win or die kind of game. They should be able to kind of pull that out and make it no question that they're the team to make some noise. And now that I said that, I probably jinxed them, so I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah, thanks.
That does
God
seem
damn
like
it.
something interesting there. All right, I'm kind of with you guys for the most part. I think the Lakers to me are a very scary team, especially if they get that 7th seed. And we can kind of go into the full playoff picture here as we go. So we'll start there in the Western Conference. Denver's still in the 1 seed. Memphis is in the 2. Sacramento currently in 3. Phoenix in 4. Golden State at 5, and 6 is the Clippers. So let's just fill it in here for now with saying Lakers get the 7th seed and Minnesota takes the 8th seed. In the Western Conference, Chris, what matchups do you really want to see out of there? And what are the teams that are really interesting to you and maybe in good positions to make some runs?
Okay, so I realize you just said the Lakers on the 7th seed, but I wanted to picture the Lakers on the 6th seed so that the Timberwolves could be in the 7th seed, so I can get my Grizzlies and Timberwolves matchup again. The rematch from last playoffs. The whole reason that Gobert was traded to the Timberwolves because of that series. They didn't have enough big guys to make up for all the offensive rebounds they were losing out to Memphis.
That was rough.
So I want to see that. And also, then I get the Clippers in the 8th spot. Nuggets Clippers, would that be the most entertaining series in the first round? That'd be insane, right? And then obviously when we get Suns Warriors, that's the West is a bloodbath, and it's gonna be no matter what the matchups are, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that's
and then in that case, we would get the Kings Lakers, right? That would be the
right.
6th
Oh,
seed.
and that's the ultimate nobody believes in us matchup, right? Nobody's taking the Kings, right?
Nobody's taking the Kings. That is all right. I really do like your picture there, Joey. You got any different matchups you like to see, or did
No,
Chris
that's
just
absolutely perfect.
Chris just sold it.
Suns Warriors would be
absolutely
must watch TV.
Yeah.
Everything else would be like good for like, I don't know, good storylines. But if you're gonna watch a game in the playoffs, you're gonna watch Suns Warriors before you watch anything else. That has like every bit of TV drama that you could absolutely ever want in a sport.
Yes, absolutely. The one that Chris did say that I think like I wouldn't have thought of, but man, it would like just wet my whistle is Denver Clippers. Let's pretend Jokic wins the MVP, and you have a team that's as dangerous as the Clippers could be with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and a team as unproven as the Nuggets. What if they lost in a first round series, and
Right.
now you have a 3-time back to back MVP losing in the first round? Like, oh my God, the it should have gone to Embiid would be going crazy.
That would be wild.
But I'm with you, Joey. That Phoenix Golden State would be just absolutely juicy, man.
I honestly feel like that matchup would actually be bad for the sport.
Bad for the sport.
Like,
How?
like if the Clippers did beat the Nuggets,
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
like it would honestly be bad for the NBA.
It would be. It'd be like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, like a casual fan or somebody who watches 20 games this season or tunes in just for the playoffs would be like, wait, this guy was your MVP and he just got bumped out in the first round, and they've done like that could be dangerous.
That could be. That'd be a real bad scene.
It'd be bad news bears.
Bad news. All right, let's go into the Eastern Conference right now. Milwaukee still at number 1 with a chance to lock it up here if they hold on and beat the Bulls. Boston at number 2, Philly at number 3, Cleveland at 4, and New York at 5. That's the only playoff matchup that is currently locked in. Those two teams are not going anywhere. They will be playing each other. Number 6 is Brooklyn currently. And then let's just go ahead and give it to Miami and Toronto, the 7-8. Is that how we want to do it?
I think that's fair.
Joey, let's start with you here on this side. What matchups intrigue you? What things teams look scary? What do you think, man?
I don't know. I don't know if I have really a super intriguing matchup in the East. I think Cleveland is going to walk New York.
Okay.
Cleveland, like after their hot start, they've kind of completely flown under the radar as a 50-win team, right? Like you haven't really heard much about them after they went out their hot start. I mean, Milwaukee, Toronto, like that could be good, but you would assume Giannis wins that game or wins that series in 6 easily. Like I can see them giving up 2. Like I don't know. Boston, Miami. I think I hear what you're saying, Chris, about like Jimmy, but I don't know. Boston just like you're not going to bet it.
Philly. What if it was Philly, Miami?
I think same thing though. Like you're going to get the same thing. Like both of these teams are like, hey, we've got everything to prove, and like we have the superstar, we have the star power. Miami is like, I don't know if they feel like they have anything to prove anymore, and they don't have the star power. They have Jimmy Butler. Bam is not who we thought Bam was going to be. So I don't know. I think the juiciest matchup of all would be Cleveland, New York, and I still think Cleveland is going to walk that one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Joey. I think the first round, at least in the Eastern Conference, is not going to be too exciting. I don't think. I think Cleveland, New York is probably the best series, but yeah, I think that should be fairly quick. Chris, what are your thoughts, man? Any teams really you think can make a push here, or do you think it's really
Miami? Miami's my only one with
Miami's
Philly. I think what Jimmy's been doing these last few weeks has been nuts.
Philly would be the interesting team because Miami's kind of got their number a little bit,
and also like Philly just chalk it up to all the poor decisions that franchise has been making. I mean, right?
Lately,
especially lately, like it's been nuts with that franchise.
Last couple months,
yeah.
In particular,
just keep it rolling. If they lose in the first round, it would make a lot of sense, in my opinion.
Yep, this is a terrible organization.
Yeah.
Bad culture.
Hashtag not my MVP. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I think the Western Conference we're gonna be staying up late to watch these bloodbath series, and then I think the Eastern Conference. I'll be getting my naps in during the Eastern Conference games.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping during.
I'd say the second round of the East though, with Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, one of those. Two of those teams have to play each other. That's going to be must-watch basketball. And then Cleveland, hopefully, maybe Cleveland can make some noise.
Yeah, next week when we should have all the teams, or at least a good idea of who's going to be where. We're going to do a full breakdown of these teams and give you guys a reason why each team can maybe win the title. So we'll do that next week, though.
But we'll be pulling the Adam Brunn special, the nap at 7:00 and wake up at 9:00.
Yeah, right.
Wake up at 9:00 for Nugs clips. But let's make some plans on air. Joey, I was going to throw this out at you. Even if the Bulls don't make it into the 8th seed, what about a Milwaukee first round game? We take the hour and a half ride up. I think the first round
jaunt up to Milwaukee.
Yeah, make a jaunt up to Milwaukee. I don't think there's going to be a ton of. I think there's going to be some cheap seats for us.
I mean, are we going inside, or are we going to try and stand in the Deer District?
I don't know. I feel like I want a seat. I'm an old man.
Okay, I'm with you. I want to see. Do you think I want to stand in the deer district amongst a crowd of people? Come on.
That
All right.
actually is not on brand for
come
you.
Let's think about this.
I was thinking for a second, I was like, man, Joey wants to get after it out there. All right, we can do it.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. Chris, that's what, only like 4 hours from you, right? You're
Just throwing it out there,
making
Two old
Chris.
souls. We can talk about it off air.
We'll finish the plans off here. I just wanted to put that out there on the,
I like
on
that.
the air.
I like
We might
it.
have to do
like that. It's
a
probably like
Milwaukee
half
game.
the price of a Bulls
Yes,
regular
of a
season
Bulls
game
game,
anyway,
so.
so that's fair.
It should be good. All right, we'll move into our third topic for tonight. We were given the challenge: find the top 5 disappointing teams from the last 10 years. Chris said he just went back 5 years and was like, "I found a disappointing team each year. Let's just roll with
I
it."
have to go 10 years.
He didn't have to go 10 years.
Went
I
6,
went-
I guess.
I went back
This is
to
why
10
I
years.
assigned this to Chris, because I was like, he's gonna latch
gonna-
onto it.
He's going to latch onto it. I did find some teams. I'm curious the ways we went about this. I went about it a very specific way. Chris, do you have them in order, or do you just have them by timeline order? How do you
A
do it?
year.
I have them by
I
year
did by
too.
year.
So let's
Should
go
we
ahead
do one
and
at
start.
a time?
Yeah, we do one at a time. Let's start with your first one, and then I'll go to mine.
Can I pick the worst team out of all of these? Can I?
Yes, you
Yes.
pick the most disappointing team out of all of these.
So I'm going to
Judge
cheat right from the
Judy.
start
Right.
with my first one. I'm just going to go by year. I'm going to go with most recent and then go down.
Okay,
So
I'm gonna go the
my
opposite way.
most recent disappointing team are the 2022 Timberwolves and Hawks.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. The stat I wanted to point out is there are 7 picks, 3 pick swaps, so 10 total picks, along with 8 players traded out between these two teams. And both of these teams currently sit at a 500 record. Or 40 or 39. So
Rough.
it's pretty brutal for both
You
these
mean
franchises.
this season's
This
T-Wolves
season.
and Hawks?
This season's Minnesota Timberwolves and Atlanta Hawks. Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. He's cheating there, but I like it. I'll
Nice.
go that order to with my most recent team to my oldest team. I went with the 21-22 Nets. Chris, also, if you have any of these same teams, just let
That's
me
my
know.
next one.
Okay. That's your next one.
Yeah.
So they lost in 7 games to the Bucks the season before, who won the title. The season before, they also had traded for Kevin Durant, Harden, and Kyrie Irving.
Mhm.
But in the 21-22 season, they traded James Harden. Kyrie Irving had sat for the vax mandate. They had the KD injury, and they lost in the first round to the Celtics 4-1.
Got swept.
Swept. Yeah, okay, swept.
It's the only
Brutal.
sweep of the playoffs.
It's brutal.
And then eventually, obviously, traded KD and Kyrie Irving, and just unbelievable. But the fact that team never became anything is wild to me. So
The great stat from that I mentioned to you guys, but is the fact that Cam Johnson, Michael Bridges, and Spencer Dinwiddie have already played more games
Yeah.
together than Harden,
wild.
Kyrie, and KD ever did. It's
It's the
amazing,
best stat that'll ever exist.
right? But so I had the Nets too. Same reasons. Tyson, go on to your next one.
all right, my next team is the 2021 Jazz. So they had a 9.3 net rating, a full 3 points better than the second team. And we've talked about how net rating usually correlates to winning championships. They lost in the second round 4-2 to the Clippers, I believe. But just an all-time, like, only good in the regular season team.
Okay, so I think I have the same one again, but I said
Wow.
the 2020-21 Jazz, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, 2020, 21. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because they were up 2-0 on the Clippers. Also in that series, Kawhi Leonard did not play. He was
That's
out.
right. Yeah, he was out.
The Clippers roll Jazz for the next 4 games. Gobert looks like a fraud, winning Defensive Player of the Year that year. He's
Yeah.
never really fully recovered from that series.
No, they broke that. They broke that team that
They
year.
broke them. Yeah.
They broke that team for a
But then the
decade.
following year, they were kind of good again, but then against Dallas, they were just like, "Hey, can we just not be a team anymore? Can you please trade us?
Yeah, please trade us.
We don't want to be together."
All right, so that was your team. I'll go to my third.
was it, yeah.
My third team, which this may align here. I'm not going too
All
far
right, let's
back.
see what we
here.
got. Yeah.
I have the 2019-2020 Milwaukee Bucks. So they were back-to-back number 1 seeds. So the year before, and then this season they were the number 1 seed. Back-to-back MVPs for Giannis, a 9.5 net rating. Again, a full 3 points better than any other team. Lost in the second round to the Heat 4-1. Absolutely embarrassed. Obviously go on to win the title the next year, but just one of the all-time what happened to this team.
That's a
yeah.
good one. I didn't include them. I skipped the bubble year because there was so
that
much
was the bubble
nuance that year. That was just a tough year. I had my twins that year. That was a crazy year for everyone. But so that one's not on my list. So I'll go to my fourth
Yeah, go to your fourth.
team, which because you were named two. I have the 2018 76ers.
Okay,
Their
nice.
starting lineup was Jimmy Butler, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, and JJ Redick. This
Oof.
team lost in 7 to the Toronto Raptors off of that Kawhi shot.
Oh, that's right.
all-timer. And the way they were put together, that they were gonna win the championship that
Yes.
season. They were gonna beat the Bucks. I felt like, even though they were like a 4th seed, I think they were the best team, and Kawhi just stole it out from under them. So
It stole the title.
and then Jimmy Butler, and then they kept Tobias over Jimmy, and again, that's where the poor mistakes kept happening, and they
Yep.
obviously haven't. They've been
They
continuing.
haven't recovered.
Yeah.
Marketing mistakes, player mistakes. Just terrible. Good team. That's a good pick. All right, I'll go to my fourth team. I have the 2015-2016 San Antonio Spurs. So they had a historic net rating of 11.3. Anything double digits is very, very rare. I just got a list. So you want to list players. Here was their starting lineup. They had LaMarcus Aldridge. I'm blanking on his first name. I have Green.
Danny Green.
Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, Tim Duncan, and Tony Parker. Their starting lineup. The reserves: David West, a young Kyle Anderson slow-mo in there, Ginobili, Patty Mills, Boris Diaw, just loaded up and down. They were 67-15, and they lost to I believe this is the year they lost to OKC in the second round. And I believe it's the year OKC then went on to lose to the Heat in the finals, but just unreal that team did not play for a title because they were just completely stacked and just an all-time great team.
I completely forgot that LaMarcus Aldridge was on the Spurs when Duncan was still there.
Yeah, like that's your starting. You're running
That's
out
insane.
those five.
Oh my god,
It's kind of crazy to think of 15, 16, these players like that feels like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And it was a long time.
It was
ago.
long. I mean, Aldridge isn't in the league anymore, so.
long ass time. He just retired.
But that's what I mean. Like they had a young.
Former
I mean, obviously
Bulls
Kawhi was young,
draft pick.
Kyle Anderson young, but does it have those kind of like just that much talent across?
Yeah.
You know, I listed 9 guys there that are
Oh, that's nuts.
legit NBA players.
You listed so many guys. They got guys.
They got guys here, guys.
They got the
Got some
guys.
guys.
All right, let's get your 5th team, Chris. And then we'll go to mine.
15, and I also have a bonus team that's beyond the 10 years. I just had to, since we were doing this segment, I need to mention them later.
Don't hurt me.
No, I'm not. No, it's not the Bulls.
Okay, good.
I have the 20. So my 5th one is the 2017 Houston Rockets. I forgot how good this team was. They were 65-17.
Yeah.
Harden was MVP. They lose in Game 7. They were up 3-2 in that series. They lose in Game 7 against the Warriors, the KD Warriors. I was rooting for Houston because I hated the KD.
The KD Warriors.
I love the Warriors and the KD goes down.
I hated that Rockets team.
In that game, Game 7, the Rockets go 7-44 from 3 for 16%. James Harden 2 of 13. Eric Gordon 2 of 12. Trevor Ariza 0 of 9 in that game. They shit the bed. I think they missed like 22 in a row. They just kept chucking them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna fall eventually. Regression to the mean, right? I was like, oh, time's out. You guys lose.
All-time what-if team, all-time what-if game, because that is just crazy.
So that was when I look back to that. I forgot how 65 wins they had. That was insane.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That was the NBA finals that year. I remember that.
Yeah.
All right, my 5th team. I'm sorry, Joey, but I'm going to do it to you. The 2012-2013, they just squeak in a Chicago Bulls. I needed to relive it.
That's on brand because you're a hater and whatever.
I'm not a hater. I just needed the catharsis. They were coming off the MVP season of Derrick Rose. They had an 8.0 net rating. They had made the conference finals the year before, lost to the Heat, 62 wins the year before. They had 50 in this shortened season. This was the shortened season after the lockout. Back-to-back number 1 seeds. This was the year they were going to beat the Heat. And Derrick Rose got hurt in the first round. They lost in the first round to Philly. So,
thanks. Move on, Chris. What's your surprise 16?
Yeah, I try to avoid injuries because that's just sad.
I couldn't. I had to do it.
You didn't have to.
All right, let's move
my
on
most
to the
disappointing
Bulls.
team. All right.
My most disappointing one that I remember is the 2007 Dallas Mavericks. I was in high school. when
That's
this
a
team
good
was
one.
great. 67-15. They came this the year before they lost after leading 2-0 in the NBA Finals against Miami Heat. So it's the redeem year. You win 67 games. Of course, in round 1, they play against the Golden State Warriors, Don Nelson's Warriors.
We believe
They
Warriors.
went 0-3 against in the regular season. The only team they couldn't beat, they run into them and then they lose 4-2 and they're out. They're done. Everyone's shocked. It's like, wait, 8 just lost 2-1. That's not supposed to happen. It's that Mavericks team. And then finally, Dirk has redemption 4 years later. Like, talk about a stretch, man. 5 years of nobody thinking Dirk can win, and then he finally did it.
I remember that team. That was a absolute, like, did they just lose that series?
Yeah.
8-1. It was crazy.
That was probably the first series where I like watched every game and just like was dumbfounded.
Yeah.
When
How is this happening?
saying, like, oh, they're not going to win. Like, they're just being outplayed here. This isn't happening.
How is this happening? All right, Joey, what was your most disappointing team at all those ones? Do you remember?
All right. I think I have a consensus. I think I go with the Jazz
Nice. Okay.
as the most disappointing. You guys both had them on their list. I think you guys both picked the 2020-2021 Jazz.
Yeah.
But you could probably also extend that out, plus or minus 1 or 2 seasons on either end of those seasons. Because of that, I think that kind of fits the most disappointing team probably of the last 10 years. Just they had a run. They were a great regular season team. They never amounted to anything. And just the collapse of them, last season with them trading away their 2 superstars at the same time is just got to be the biggest disappointment. My biggest what if from your list, I think, is the Nets of last season. I think that to me is the biggest what if, especially based on the stat of guys that got traded midseason, played more minutes than the 3 of them over a season and a half. And then the honorable mention for me is the 17 Rockets. I think, Chris, that was a good call for you. I think we easily forget about that team, and probably for good reason, because they're pretty forgettable based on how they ended their run. But honorable mention for you. But the Jazz, that's got to be tough to be a fan of that team.
But never really even come close. Yeah,
to have to literally watch them be that good all season and then just never put together anything worthwhile and then watch it all fall apart at the same time. Like, you didn't even get to keep one of your star players. They both just
imagine you're thinking, like, everyone in the media is like, oh no, the Jazz aren't really going to win it. And then everyone, if you're the Jazz fan, you're like, no, we're going to prove them wrong. I think you're up 2-0 against the Clippers, and then you just get swept
lost
out.
it.
Every season they do this exactly. They fit to the script.
They fit to the script. All right, let's have a little fun here. We're going to do some blind player rankings. Who wants to go first? I got a list of 6 players for each of you guys.
Let's let Joey go first.
Joey, you want to go first? All right, Joey. So I'm going to give you the player. You're going to give them each a ranking 1 through 6.
Yes, before I know the other player.
Before you know the other players.
Okay.
And I will say, so they all are, I would say, comparable. I definitely think there is a bit of a spread here as far as like age and sort of establishment and talent range, but I would definitely say they're all very comparable, similar level players.
Okay.
Chris, will be
Do you
same thing for
include
you.
the 90s guys as well?
I included some 90s guys, so that way you can.
All right.
And these are all current players. So they're all current players. They're all in the league.
Wait, they're all current players, but they're 90s guys?
90s guys. No, there's no 90s guys.
Okay. I'm kidding.
I was kidding. I was just
follow along. I'm nervous.
Just nervous. All right.
I'm nervous I'm going to make a really bad decision right off the bat. And
honestly, I don't think you can make bad decisions here, but I think it's going to be fun. So we're going to start. The first player, Zach LaVine.
Oh,
I fucking knew it.
You made a list for Joey.
I made a list for Joey. I made a list for Chris.
Oh, okay.
I knew you were going to do this shit.
Zach LaVine.
God, I hate you. It's so fucking terrible.
1 through 6.
Are there any criteria that I have to follow, or is this just me and my heart?
This is you and your heart. How you feel?
And I can defend this any way that I feel like?
Go ahead.
Oh, God. And they're all current players, right?
All current players, all in the league, all having good seasons.
All right. I'm going to make an educated guess that there's some other players coming up in the list. So I'm going to put Zach LaVine at number 2. Zach LaVine, number 2.
Wow. That's all right. That's fair.
I did this too. I put my. Well, I'm not going to do the whole thing, so I don't.
Right,
yeah, let's just focus on Joey.
All right. Your second player.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
Oh.
The Boston Celtics.
Man, I mean, he's not better than Zach Levine. I mean, that's
He's not.
I'm happy with my Levine pick there. No, have you seen the tear Zach Levine's been on? Come on now.
I mean, he's been
man.
playing great. He's been playing great.
He's been on number 15 in the league in scoring right now. Better than DeMar. Bad.
Hey, these are fair players, right? I mean,
Yeah,
comparable,
this is fair.
comparable.
This is comparable. All right. Jaylen Brown can go 4.
All right, I should probably be writing this down.
And you were low on Jaylen Brown.
I know that's surprisingly low. So
I'm trying to think who's coming. Okay,
Zach,
I'm
you
trying
got
to pick the future here.
Brown at 4. All right.
I'm writing it down.
Number 3, Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. All right, he's better than Jaylen Brown. He's definitely better than Zach Levine. So I think he has to go number 1 just based on where I put Zach Levine.
Okay. Based on what you
Okay.
put him. All right, that's a commitment here. Now,
That's
now
gonna
this I'm
Yeah.
glad we went this way because this is gonna be curious now.
You're gonna just
Number
slap me
4.
across the face.
Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, I actually feel really good about this. Donovan Mitchell can go number 3.
All right, man. You know what? Your list is all right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Your list is all right. All right, number 5, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, I'm actually okay with that. I am actually okay with Anthony Edwards being 5.
5. All right. Yeah. Okay. You got a reason or something, or
No, just initial reactions off my list. So
right now
I think-
have
I've got Booker 1, Levine 2, Mitchell 3, Brown 4, Edwards 5.
I think
Really
it's okay.
really sneaky shit by putting Zach Levine first.
I had to do it.
Absolutely sneaky shit. I think if I had to make a big switch, I would probably put Mitchell 2 and Levine 3.
Yep, that's the only thing. Honestly, the only thing I would change.
I think that's probably my only one.
yeah.
Like Jaylen Brown is good. Don't get me wrong. Like
yes.
he is good. I think he benefits from some of the
Tatum juice.
some of the Tatum juice, some of the Boston juice, and some of just the goodness of the Celtics as a whole. Levine you could probably make the same argument about Zach, right? That he's only excelling because he's on a bad team, and he has been on a bad team his entire time in Chicago. But Zach to me has been very consistent. So I'm happy with like Booker, Levine, and Mitchell as like they're very consistent, right? Like they are going to give you pretty much the same game every night. Like the efficiency may be up and down significantly, but they're going to give you that like 24 to like 30 a game, night in, night out. All have the potential to go for 50 on any night. Jaylen Brown, I don't think quite has that. He's probably actually the more consistent person, but I'd rather take the risk on like the high end than the super consistent. And like as of right now, I think Anthony Edwards fits perfectly in this group of people. Like if you ask me the same 5 in like 3 years, like I could see this changing, but I think.
Well, I got one more player for you too. I had 6. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
6. But I think it's fair. I would now. I had the 6th guy, and we'll see what you think. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh, damn. I went through all that shit.
Yeah, and then you have Shea.
I completely forgot you. I would put Shea at 4.
Okay, and then
Brown at 5, and then Edwards at 6.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I think I kind of like Shea as 1. I think he's kind of the best one of the group.
No, Shea's not.
My list is a lot different than what you guys are saying. I would have Shea, Donovan, Jaylen, Booker, Levine, and then Edwards. As much as it pains me, Anthony Edwards is still 6th.
That actually feels right for you.
For me, yeah. Like
we value different things.
Yeah, I would probably go Butcher.
Booker,
Mitchell, Shea, Zach. Like I could be talking to either one at 3 there. I might go Shea just 'cause I think I don't know. He's not on a better team or anything, but maybe more promising player because he's a little bit younger. And then Brown, Edwards,
This is actually a good exercise. You guys really don't like Jaylen Brown.
I'm kind of with Joey on this. I just don't know how good he is. You know what I mean? Like I know he's a good player, but you put him on a team. He's by himself. Is he a 10th seed? Probably. You know what I mean? Like is he gonna, the number 1 player on a 5th or 6th seed in the Eastern Conference?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Zach has been, I guess sort of the pseudo number 1 or a 1A, 1B on a mid-level team for a while. So, I'm fine with that. All right, let's
That was
go
good.
into.
That was a good
yeah,
list.
it was good.
I did not expect you to be. I thought you were going to throw some other players in there. So kudos to you for not playing at my heartstrings on every single one of these. So thank
No,
you.
the only thing I ever had in mind was like I know Zach was going to be first. I was like, I just want to see where he puts him, and then we're going to
I
put
feel
like
mine's gonna
some
be like
comparable
number
players.
guys.
I thought I was going to get like a Levine, like Taj Gibson,
So-
Derrick Rose.
oh,
I thought
no, no.
I thought you were going to give
No,
me
no, no.
like Bulls players from just all active ones, like hanging out in the league. Jimmy Butler, and just really make me feel like a really bad fan.
No,
So,
this is just.
so thank
blind
you for
player
not doing
rankings.
that. Thank you.
All right,
2013 Jimmy Butler. No.
Chris, as you may have expected, these guys are a little bit bigger. We'll start you off with your first player, Joel Embiid.
Okay. Oh,
Where do you want to put
yeah,
him?
he's
bud?
good. He's 2. He's got to be 2.
He's 2? All right.
I'm just gonna save the one spot.
Wow. All right. 2. All right. Save the one spot. All right. Your second player, Bam Adebayo.
Okay, there's 6 players
6
here.
players total. Yeah.
Bam. Okay, so Bam actually has been having a sneaky good season. Nobody talks about Bam Adebayo. He could compete against Embiid compared to everyone else you're gonna have on this list. He's averaging 20 a game, but you can't shoot. Fifth. I'll put him
Fifth?
fifth.
All right.
Or between
Fifth
4
right
and
now.
5.
I don't think that's bad. You might regret that later, but we'll see. But I don't think that's terrible. All right. Number 3, Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, he's 1. I'll just put 1.
Yeah, I think that was perfect. You put Embiid.
I was kind of expecting maybe him was coming in here, so all right.
Now we're gonna get to the curious guys, the ones that may be interesting. Number 4, Domantas Sabonis.
Okay, he's I actually like him over Bam, but I'll put him 4.
All right, so he's gonna be 4. So you still have your 3 slot open, and you have your 6 slot open.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, number 5, Rudy Gobert.
God damn it. Yeah, no, he's 6th. Okay,
He's
no,
6th,
he's
yep.
6th. Yeah,
He's
yeah. I
6th.
knew he was gonna show. I thought you were gonna put him first.
You should have put it, Rudy Gobert.
Honestly,
I thought I'd get you.
I'm
Joel
glad you
Embiid.
put him now because if you put him first, I was gonna have to put him in like the 4 spot and then seriously regret that. He's number 6 on this
He's
list.
number 6. All right. Well, we'll see here.
So who's 3 here? Who's 3?
Who's 3? Your number 3 will be DeAndre Ayton.
Ow! No. Okay.
Ouch. Got him.
Got him. All right. So who would you switch? Because you have 1 Jokic, 2 Embiid. I feel like you're probably good on those. 3 DeAndre Ayton, 4 Domantas, 5 Bam, and 6 Rudy. Is it maybe just
So-
Bam and Ayton switch in there? Move its bonus up.
Oh, Sabonis goes up. So I got Jokic and Embiid, Sabonis. Well, the order I would switch it to is Jokic and Embiid, Sabonis, Bam, but then Ayton or Gobert.
Yeah, the 5-6. Who are you doing there?
Like,
I mean,
kinda
personally, I'm
wanna
going
move
Ayton.
all the way
but-
down. I don't like
You don't like
DeAndre
Ayton?
Ayton at all. Like,
I guess Gobert's a defensive player of the year. Joey, any thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, I feel like you would rate Ayton over Gobert, right?
I would personally, but
more well-rounded player. Like it depends what Chris values. Chris
like
values
offensive,
defense,
Ayton
block
can't
shots.
even average a block a game. Come on,
Right.
Ayton.
What depends what you're valuing, right? And based
Yeah.
on what Chris just said,
I'd put Ayton last,
Yeah,
in my
that
opinion.
seems.
all right, that's fair. I think those 2 guys were going to be last.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind
yeah, I
of wish
thought-
you would have left Jokic till last and seen if he would have
put anybody else at number
put
1.
anybody.
I think Jokic at 3 was kind of well for me because
I don't think
Yeah.
you would have though, right? Because if you put Embiid second, you wouldn't have put Ayton,
any of these
Sabonis,
guys,
Bam, or
yeah.
Rudy in a number 1
Yeah.
slot. You would have been waiting for the big ticket item.
for the big ticket. You've been like, yeah, you're like, Jokic is coming. So
So
DeAndre
you think
Ayton, though.
Jokic is MVP, right? Then that's what you're saying.
then based on your
yeah.
fuck the Sixers.
Giannis, give it to Giannis.
It should be Giannis. I think Giannis.
Ooh,
Talk
that
about
would've been a
voter
good one. You
fatigue.
should
It's
put
really,
Giannis
it's
in.
really Giannis. I thought you were in. That's why. If you said Giannis, I'm like I have to put him 3 now. That would have hurt.
I did.
DeAndre,
I
he's
guess
the
I
most
should have done
mechanical
those
player.
3 guys, but I felt like I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit. Yours was a little bit more all over the place as far as skill. I think like Jokic and Embiid were clearly the 2 best, and then you kind of had some other just more mediocre guys. Where I feel like I did a little more consistent with Joey's list.
It's a good list though. So Chris really does appreciate the big men, like tall and
Skilled.
stout.
Oh, I've always been more about the skill guys, like Arvydas Sabonis growing up, or Marcus Saul was always the man. Honestly, I thought Joey's list was harder with
Yeah.
those guards. Or
Well, the guards are a little bit harder to parse in today's league.
I stand by mine. I'm happy with my list.
Yeah, I think you guys both did good. Both
That's
did good,
good.
man. Nobody went too crazy. I tried to set you guys up each with the first guy, but it was
Chris, I think me and
handled
you
well.
should collaborate on a list for Titus here.
I think you
I'll
should.
try this list. We can come with some players. Yeah.
Just
All
make
right,
one on
next
the
week.
side and come up with one and give it to
Oh,
Titus.
I would be
'cause
so
Yep.
nervous.
he had a lot of fun playing games with us. I think it's just,
Who would you just come out with? John Morant? Would you go John Morant?
no,
John Morant, Trey Young,
Trey Young,
Who
Steph
else?
Curry, small guard.
Steph. Yeah. Steph.
Kevin Durant, Draymond Green,
Draymond Green,
let's go all
all
over
the
the place.
Warriors, LeBron James. Is this current LeBron James?
Yeah, we'll do everybody.
With everybody. All right. We got one last topic tonight. A little NBA high thoughts.
It should be like a music drop for that.
That
one.
should be a music drop.
Adam, we need a intro for this. I think we need to have a little music drop.
NBA high thoughts. There's like some bubbling in the background.
Wow. Is that because you like to sit in the hot tub?
It's because I like to sit in the hot tub and
Hot tub.
hot tub thoughts.
Hot tub thoughts.
All right, this is a thought I had
Sitting on the jet.
sitting on the jet for a change to the rules. Okay, a rule change. Honestly, this came from mostly the college basketball. I'm watching a lot of the Final Four and stuff like that. But it's relevant to the NBA as well. Do you feel, or the thought I had was that there should be some sort of either a delayed foul call, like similar to soccer, where the ref holds the hand up or whatever and allows the play to go on before we decide, / the ability for the team that is in like the best position to like, or that would benefit most from it to say, hey, we accept the call as it is. So this was basically, there was a couple like out of bounds plays that happened where, let's say a team was up 8 with like 5 seconds left or something like that. The ball was out of bounds. They go to review. They're reviewing it for 10 minutes, trying to figure out who the ball went off of. I go, the team that's up 8, can they just go, yeah, just give them the ball. We don't care. Like we're up 8. There's 5 seconds left. Give them the ball. Same thing. There was another one where a guy was like bringing the ball up, stepped out of bounds, passed the ball. I forget what happened, but their team was down. The ball got turned over. The clock ran out, but they stopped the clock because he had stepped out of bounds, reviewed it. We're putting, 8/10 back on the clock to do it. Can you just hold up a hand and go, hey, let's just let this thing play out? And if it plays out in a way that you guys don't care about, and you just say, hey, we decline the foul, let's decline it and end the game. Because I don't know why we're constantly going to the reviews and we're trying to figure out exactly who the ball came off of, exactly how many 0.1 seconds is left on the clock for a tip in. Let's just end the game. Thoughts? Joe, you look like you're thinking.
I am thinking because of the soccer comparison, you've got me, my mind spinning. So like,
did you juice?
So it's almost like there's a steal, right, half court, and guy's got almost a breakaway, right? But there's one guy between them, and that guy fouls him in basketball, right? Grabs his shirt, but doesn't like knock him over. Guy gets
around him.
Yeah, still has the ball, can easily have a layup. You hold your hand up, you let the play continue. Guy gets a slam dunk. You say, "Cool,
we'll decline
2 points, whatever." In that scenario, would you still assess the foul to the person who grabbed the guy who had the breakaway?
I think that we would be part of it where you go like, no, we're declining the call. So then that guy does not get a personal foul added to him. It's just like, we'll take the 2 points. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. So I think
in
that scenario, I'd have to say no, right? Because in soccer, fouls don't accumulate. Mm-hmm. You can get as many fouls as you want in a game as long as it's not yellow cards, right? 2 yellow cards equals a red or a straight red card. Mm-hmm. But in basketball, you would never accept that. You would never just take the 2 points. You would always take the foul.
Well,
plus attempting to get the ball back then.
It could be situational. Like maybe you have a poor free throw shooter that is the guy that gets to the basket and a guy that doesn't have a ton of fouls on him. And you're like, hey, we don't care. Like at that point, you're like, hey, we don't care. Like he's got 2 fouls. It's the end of the game anyway. Like it's not a big deal to us to call him a foul. We'd rather just end the game, or we'd rather just take the 2 points.
Good point.
You guys inbound the ball. So I think, I just think situationally, you might just go, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, good point. I think in that scenario, I do like the delayed call. I also maybe do just like the don't stop the game and then
Yeah.
let the guy have the layup, assess the foul at the end of the next break, but don't stop the game to have this guy have to inbound the ball or have his team inbound the ball or shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Hold up your hand, say, all right, Devin Booker fouled Zach LaVine on a breakaway. It's because I have him written down. I'm not saying this is what happened. But Devin Booker fouled him, so it's a foul to Booker at the next break, but 2 points to the Bulls, and we don't stop play. We just keep going.
And I think
I do kind of like that.
The other big thing for me was the inbounds, outbounds, or whose ball it was. I think there was I forget exactly what game it was, but it was a very specific game where it was less than like 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock. The team was down enough where it did not matter. Where I go, if I'm the team that's up, I just wish I could go, hey, just let them inbound the ball, because all they're going to do is inbound the ball. We're going to get 1 touch on it, and it's going to be done. Like when they came back from the review, all they did was inbound it. The guys held it, and the game was over.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Chris,
I thought the angle you're going to take on it was about the breakaway, about like, hey, let them.
I mean, that's part of it too.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for like fewer replays. So if that's an angle we can take where like the team is literally like, hey, we don't care. The only caveat with that is like, hey, everybody bite with it 5 seconds. Then you say, yeah, whatever, give them a ball. And they actually some miraculous way pull a Reggie Miller and win the game. Then you would have taken the time, but like that, I don't know. But
you're the team, you made the choice. I mean, you said, hey, yeah, just let them have it. Let's go.
Yeah, but do you think any team would ever take that choice?
I think I would at times.
Yeah, but you're not a professional basketball coach.
True.
You're much.
You got nowhere to be when you're a professional basketball coach.
Yeah. I feel like they can have the option. They should just have the option.
I feel like what they should do is like they have all these people watching the games in like different offices and stuff. Like it's like an MLB, right? Like MLB replays. Chris, you probably know better. MLB replays are pretty quick, right?
Yeah.
When they do a replay, they're much faster. Like on an out of bounds play, like why give it to the ref on the floor to make that decision? Like somebody else was already watching that play. They saw it happen for a minute and a half before these guys got to see it. Like just let them make the call.
Let them make the call and have it come in. I'm with you like on something like that too. I think it was more like I was just getting annoyed. Like I was, I'm a high at the end of these games and these games are dragging out. I'm like, can we just get to the next? Let's go. It feels like forever when you're a little inebriated.
Yeah, it is a problem. I think it's probably, if you ask like a casual basketball fan, like why they don't like basketball, it's because the game, the last, like, I don't know. It's like
the last minute or two is long.
The most exciting part of a basketball game is the last like 7 minutes of the game, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when it all comes down. Like the first 36 minutes really mean absolutely nothing. Because if it's close, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
If it's 0-0 or 88-88. But then when you have this minute and a half, that's going to be just awesome, and it takes 25 minutes to watch. Like that turns somebody off really fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they need to find a way to fix it. And your solution would definitely fix it.
What baseball's been doing has been awesome with the 20-second pitch clock.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I gotta watch that,
yeah.
I've watched more baseball. I've watched more baseball in the first week probably this season than I have in some time because the quality of the game is much better.
I go on my phone less because it's just like, oh shit, there's a pitch.
Yeah, something going on.
I do like the delayed foul call, Titus. Though I enjoy that. I like that.
There's something to that for sure.
Let's give it a chance to see what happens. Yeah, I feel like
because they've kind of tried to do that, right? They've tried to discourage even making the foul by saying if it's in clear path or transition take foul that you get a free throw plus the ball, so it's potentially a 3-point play guaranteed. But I kind of like just, hey, this guy plays on, he gets a slam dunk, and then this guy gets the foul anyways, and we just keep playing.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that.
Well, any other thoughts for tonight, boys? You guys ready to wrap her up?
You need to have some more
next week.
Controversial high thoughts.
All right, maybe next week I'll try to come with a funny one or something.
Because your first two high thoughts have been very, very accurate.
Hey, that's what happens, man.
Too, level-headed during this.
That's the joys of it, my friend. See things clearly with that third eye. All right, well, that is it for us tonight. Join us next week to talk more NBA basketball. We're going to be looking into the playoffs next week, getting ready. We have some playing games to talk about. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at the Box Out Boys. Slide in those DMs. Join us live Wednesdays at around 8:30. Send us an email to theboxoutboys@gmail.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and review wherever you're watching or listening to this at now. We very much appreciate that. So for Chris, Joey, and Adam, I'm Titus. Until next time, Box out!